So do you wake up between the hours of 10 to 2 or 2 to 6? And they'll give me a response. I'll say if you wake up between the hours of 10 to 2, we've got a blood sugar handling issue. If you wake up between the hours of 2 to 6, this is more of a neurological neurotransmitter stress issue. This is more of a hormonal brain issue. Okay. Hey everyone, this is Dr. Barrett. I'm a board-certified chiropractic physician with a passion and emphasis in functional nutrition. We can't wait to add value to your health as well as the health of your family. Thanks for listening in to the Real Health Podcast.
Hey, before we jump into today's episode, do me a favor. If you like this episode and you like hearing from Dr. B, share it on your Facebook, share it on your Instagram. We're really trying to get this health movement out. So without further ado, let's get to today's episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Real Health Podcast with Dr. B. This is your host Lane. We've got a phenomenal episode. We're actually recording this in the middle of the day, so it's not going to be early. So you may hear a little, you may get
more
energy, a little more energy from us. And what else you're going to get is the beautiful sound of rain dripping on a steel building. So
it has not stopped for days.
It's not stopped for days. And I actually do have a question about that you don't know that I'm going to ask you. But if you're listening to this episode and you hear the faint noise of a winter rain, then you know that it's raining here in Knoxville. And it's been raining here in Knoxville for quite some time.
It can be relaxing.
You may fall asleep at this episode. My question for you, you didn't know this was coming, but it's simple.
I don't like impromptu questions.
No, it's
I
fine.
never get these. Patients never ask these.
Is seasonal depression real?
Oh, yeah. Very real. And we see it as a hormonal drop. So it's very real. And one of the most important things to look at is, of course, what we call vitamin D, which is not a vitamin. It is a prohormone. So looking at vitamin D and see what your levels are pre-winter is very important.
It's all about planning for the winter time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, we've talked about it on episodes too. It's not, you can't. If you're just trying to do it in the middle of winter, then it may be a little bit hard. You got to plan it.
Yeah, and you can also use certain light bulbs that emit natural sunlight. That's very important, especially on days like this that's consistently dreary, overcast, or if you live in a region where it's consistently overcast, there are higher levels of anxiety and depression. So using those natural sunlight bulbs are also great ways of supporting a healthy circadian rhythm and helping fight seasonal depression.
People that are listening to this right now are wondering, "Oh, Dr. Barrett, what bulb are you talking about? Where can I get this bulb?" You got one on handy? You got one idea that we could give the listeners? We could tag it in the show. I've seen them before, but I want to get your opinion.
So the one that I've vetted is actually a head lamp. So you put it around the brow.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So you literally put it like this, like a visor.
We're on a radio. We're on a microphone, so you're gonna have to explain to people what you're doing right now.
Put it right above your eyebrows, like a visor.
Okay.
And it shines and it emits that blue light down into the eyes. And so, anyway, that's the only one I vetted.
What's it called?
I don't remember because I wasn't going to buy it. I didn't need it. But
will we figure it out after the episode?
We can.
Okay.
I would just recommend just getting a light bulb though, because that's like a couple $100. Biohacker unnecessary.
A light bulb. What do these people need to go to Amazon and find?
Yeah, Amazon, just a full sunlight bulb. I mean, literally, you type that in, you'll find it.
Got it. Okay.
Whatever is going to make a plant grow is going to make your eyes and brain grow.
Oh, that didn't realize we were going to go. But I mean, this rain here in Knoxville, I know there's other people that listen to elsewhere, but we're having some serious dreary days. But it's if you can get a full. I've actually been. I'm pretty sure this is safe to say. I've been staring at my red light in the morning to wake me up, and I have found that has helped a lot too.
Yeah, that's one of the best things to do right when you wake up, for sure, to help set that circadian rhythm. Yes, sir.
Been jumping in a cold pool, staring at a red light.
Yep,
all the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just think about when the sun, when you see a sunrise, you don't. It's not bright, right? It goes through a transition of red, orange to white.
Well, make sure you go get your bulb. We're going to hop into the episode. If you hear the rain behind us, that's what it is. Pillar of health. We're going to continue on that. We've done strength. We've done nutrition. And we've had some great feedback, some people that have shared the episode and that has added some significant value. And this next topic that we're going to speak to today is going to be sleep. And I will tell you this, this is one of my favorite topics to really speak on because my opinion, I believe that sleep is one of the most important things that we all do. And I'm excited to hear what you have to say about sleep. So pillar of health, sleep. Where do you want to start, and then what do you want to give the listeners?
Sure. So, again, we're laying the foundation of creating health. And it's pointless to talk biohacking. It's pointless to talk nutrition supplementation or carnivore, vegan, plant-based, paleo, Okay, if your sleep is jacked, you're not sleeping well, you're not sleeping consistently, we've got problems. And this is a major what I would call pillar in creating health from inside out. We want to see some consistencies with sleep that we can talk about where most sleep is disrupted. Give you a couple tips, and then kind of give you my 10-3-2-1-0 formula to help sleep.
Perfect. What do you feel like is the most important thing that we do start with when people are listening to this when it comes to sleep? I mean, because I think that the whole adage of 7 to 8 hours of sleep is all you need. And I've always been curious when someone says 7 to 8 hours, and that's got to change over time as you get older or as you're younger. I mean, that doesn't go for everybody.
Yeah, it's going to give you the biggest broad net capture of what most people need. Kids need more. Adults, as we age to a degree, need a little less. So it's going to capture kind of your average population. 7 to 8 hours is very important to be hitting. The first thing that I talk to patients about when I sit down in consultations, I ask them, how many hours a night are you sleeping? And so they say 7 to 8.
What do you hear the most?
Yeah, it ranges. Some are 6, 7, 8. So it's not so much quantity until I probe the question. Do you wake up in the middle of the night? Is it difficult for you to fall asleep? And these questions help us understand what's actually happening. Can they fall asleep? If they can't, then we've got to do some healthy habits around sleep to support our bodies to shut down. If they're waking up in the middle of the night, for instance, if you wake up between the hours, if they say, I'll wake up in the middle of the night, I say, so do you wake up between the hours of 10 to 2 or 2 to 6? And they'll give me a response. I'll say, if you wake up between the hours of 10 to 2, we've got a blood sugar handling issue. If you wake up between the hours of 2 to 6, this is more of a neurological neurotransmitter stress issue. This is more of a hormonal brain issue. Okay.
That actually, what you just said is something that's very important. I want you to say that again because people may go back and listen to it, but I want to hear that one more time because I didn't realize there were two different.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If you're waking up earlier in the night,
Okay.
we've got a blood sugar handling problem.
Wow.
This
Okay.
is a number one sign of maybe prediabetes. Maybe you didn't actually consume enough carbohydrates before bed because you're keto.
Okay.
Okay, that's a problem. Maybe it's a situation where you're not eating enough food. And so it can be blood sugar imbalance, whether you're eating too little or eating too much. 10 to 2 is blood sugar regulation. 2 to 6, that longer term, like time under sleep, is more stress, cortisol, serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, more neurotransmitter based. Okay.
Okay, then let me ask you that. Again, I love sleep. I'm fascinated with it. What if you are waking up in those windows because you have to pee? Does that count?
Well, now we've got an issue because if you're going to sleep and you're waking up within the first couple hours, you have to go pee. One, you're hydrating too late. Hydration should happen in the morning to midday.
Okay.
We shouldn't really need to hydrate later on in the day. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if you're not hydrating later and you're still having now we got some incontinence problems. We have we have some conversation to have about your pelvic floor.
I'm laughing because I pee a lot.
I got you. Okay. All right. Yep. Well, so Carrie Gandy is our pelvic floor coach. She can help you. She can help you. Now, naturally, we should, as there is a little bit of decrease in our bladder strength over time, and there may be some once or twice as we age, times that we get up in the middle of the night to use the restroom. So I wouldn't count those unless it's a high frequency situation.
Can I ask you one more question with who comes? Because I'm actually curious about this. If you do drink a lot at night,
okay,
and your bladder is full, if you are good at sleeping and your body can rest, will it tell your bladder that no, we'll pee in the morning, or will no matter what you'll wake up? Like if I'm really good at sleeping, should I sleep through that?
No.
Okay.
It depends on how you've trained it during the day. If you're a high frequency peer, you're going to be a high frequency peer at night. Okay. So if you urinate frequently, it doesn't matter. You're going to have a stronger neurological signal that is going to be that's going to wake you up. So if you have a sensation of needing to urinate and you urinate during the day, you are driving that sensation, that higher sensitivity at night. So like kids, when we're trying to help them with bedwetting, we actually force them to, when they say, Mom, Dad, I have to go pee, we tell them, hey, we're going to set a 5-minute timer and you can't go pee until that 5-minute timer's up. And then right before they got to go pee, you push on their bladder a little bit to kind of strengthen that brain bladder control. And then we try to increase that time domain, and we see this significantly help with bedwetting at night. So high frequency in the day will equal high frequency at night.
I hijacked it because I was curious about peeing in the middle of the night.
Nice.
So.
Good questions.
Okay, continuing with sleep, you
Yeah,
broke it up.
7 to 8 hours,
Yeah.
right, is ideal. But when we find ourselves having difficulty staying asleep, now we're dealing with blood sugar issues or neurotransmitter problems. So the other thing with sleep is we want to be going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time. Sleep consistently. Sleep timing that's consistently done when you go to sleep at the same time, wake up at the same time, helps significantly with what we call your sleep architecture, which is when you go through the rhythms of light to REM to deep to REM to light, and that rotation of that rhythm of sleep, that cycle. Okay, we should have multiple cycles a night. When you are going to bed at 12 and then 10 and then 9 and then 10:30, your body doesn't get into a circadian rhythm that's really established from the sun, because we have so much light pollution. Our circadian rhythm's so jacked. Helping your circadian rhythm out by going to sleep and waking up at the same time is very important. I let myself sleep in 1 day a week, and that to me is like my kind of Sabbath. It's nice, but every other day I'm waking up around the same time and going to sleep at the same time.
I find when I have that one day that I do sleep longer than I usually do, I feel different.
Yeah.
I don't feel, and sometimes it's just weird. It's kind of like, in essence, it seems good. I'm going to sleep in, but I don't know what it is. Is there something to that?
Oh yeah, there is. Sometimes it's actually, hey, your body just needed that rest. And with that more, that longer sleep, it's putting your body in a little bit more of that recovery state. If you're waking up between the hours of 10 to 2, hey, maybe it's a blood sugar issue. Check your blood sugar levels. If you know you're not more on the diabetic side, then it's the best time to consume carbohydrates is nighttime. That's when we refeed. Most people are like, I don't consume carbs at night. I consume in the morning. Protein and fats in the morning, carbs at night. It'll also help produce serotonin. Your carbohydrates will help serotonin production. That will help you stay asleep longer and get better, more restful sleep.
If you have gone through the day and you know your nutrition and you know that you have not had enough carbs and it's the nighttime, what are some good carbs that will induce serotonin?
Yeah, you're going to get starchy grains. So, like rice is perfect.
Is it oatmeal?
Yeah, oatmeal's great.
Is that why overnight oats sometimes is a good thing?
Yeah, yep. So if you were to like for dessert have some oats with some blueberries,
I was hoping you'd say
fantastic.
a pint of ice cream or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that. So yeah, rice.
Okay.
A little bit more sweet potato, a little bit more white potato, or whatever at with your dinner too is great. A spoonful of honey is actually proven to help as well. So take a tablespoon of honey.
My problem is I want chocolate before I go to bed.
Chocolate's great too.
Or cookies.
Yeah, and if you have a caffeine sensitivity, obviously chocolate will drive that. But overall, we're just trying to get some carbs in.
Yeah, that's interesting because usually society will tell you, don't eat carbs at night or don't eat carbs before you go to bed or
Right.
something like that.
Yep. So those are some ways to start thinking about sleep. The other thing, before we get into this formula of 10-3-2-1-0, is what's your room temperature like?
This is good.
Because you really want to be sleeping in a colder environment. And here's why. It's actually, if you do cold showers, it's best to do that at night, because if you can cool your core temperature down quicker, then you'll get into deep sleep faster. So deep sleep is contingent upon how cold your room is. If it's too cold, you'll obviously be waking up a lot. But if it's on the air of too cold, you'll get too much deep sleep and not enough REM sleep. So here's what this means. If you're not dreaming, you're not getting REM sleep. You may want to, and you're already sleeping in a cold environment, let's maybe bump that temperature up one notch. If you are dreaming a ton, which means you're not getting into deep sleep, right? You need to bump that temperature down, get into deep, restful sleep. On a general kind of scale, 64, 65 degrees
Really?
is kind of where you want to be. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So-
yeah. Wow.
That's about 65 and under. Have you ever been over somewhere and do you sleep relatively cold? Not that cold? Or you sleep really cold?
Yeah, love sleeping
Yeah,
cold.
okay.
Love sleeping cold.
You ever go to like a hotel or maybe you go camping or something that's warm?
Yeah,
Do
it's
you
the
ever
worst.
sleep?
No,
No,
it's the worst.
It's the worst. It's like torture. You want to torture someone, put them in a hot room and make them sleep.
It's the worst.
It ain't going to happen.
No, it's the worst.
Pull me out of that situation as soon as possible. I'll sleep naked with no covers just to try to cool myself off. And then just, I don't know, put fans on or whatever. So perception of cold.
We've been somewhere on vacation in a hot climate, and the AC wasn't working very properly.
That's
And
terrible.
We slept. Torture. We slept. We don't tell a lot of people this story, but we had to sleep with cold Cokes and Diet Cokes that came in the refrigerator from the room on our pressure point lymph node, so we would
Cool down. Yeah. That's amazing.
But no, sleeping. I definitely sleep cold, but I didn't realize 64, 65. We have not put it down. Okay, well, what if we're in the same? What if people have children? Is that temperature the same because we're on the same unit as our son?
Yeah, same.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What if the hands are freezing? Well, I'll go get him in the morning, and his hands are freezing. Is that okay?
Well, okay, body temperature sensors, in terms of what cools the body and what heats the body the quickest, is feet, hands, and face. So those are going to be the coolest and the warmest areas on the body. When the body is cool, the hands will be cool. When the body is warm, the hands will be warm. So it's not a bad thing.
Interesting. Okay. Now you want to get into this 10-3.
Yeah. So this is a kind of a
So
all
say
right.
that again. 10 what?
10-3-2-1-0. 10-3-2-1-0. So if we have talked about quantity, quality of sleep, we talked about getting in the right rhythm of going to sleep and waking up at the same time. This is the kind of fourth piece with sleep.
Okay.
10-3-2-1-0. So 10 hours before bed, no caffeine.
Okay.
Okay. Caffeine has a half-life of 7 to 8 hours. So in general, we want to try to avoid caffeine. For me, my cutoff for caffeine is 1 to 2 o'clock. So depending upon when you go to bed, 8 to 10 hours before bed, you want to eliminate caffeine. Because again, if you consume caffeine at 4 or 5, you're like, I didn't feel an effect. Well, you don't have to feel an effect for an effect to be happening within your body, which is producing high stress hormones, cortisol production is happening, so it will affect your sleep architecture.
That's good. 10 hours. Got it. Okay.
3, no food I'm going to say 3 hours before bed. So if you go to sleep at 8, we want to try to eat that meal at 7 p.m.
If you go to bed at 8?
If you go to bed at 10, we want to try to eat that last meal by 7 o'clock, 3 hours before.
Got it.
We actually go to sleep.
Okay.
So the reason why is if you eat right before bed, all of your energy is spent in digestion, your metabolism increases, and you'll be hot, warm, and you won't get into deep sleep. So your deep sleep significantly suffers when you eat too late. So that's your 3-hour mark. Your 2-hour mark is try to eliminate any stressors like work-related stressors 2 hours before bed. So don't do any projects. Use this time to rest and let the body shut down and settle. Again, we are not trying to stimulate our stress response before we go to bed. 1 hour before bedtime, we want to eliminate any artificial light, blue light, that could be disrupting our circadian rhythm. So TV, screens, and phones.
I would say that one arguably is the one that fails the most.
Mm-hmm. It's a hard one. And if you just shut off electronics an hour, 2 hours before bed, you're going to get sleepy very quickly. Just try it. And you'll see that if you dim the lights down, eliminate blue light stimulation, within a few minutes, you're like, oh, man, I'm getting sleepy. You throw lights on, you throw the TV on, a sports game, goodness gracious, your cortisol levels are through the roof. You ain't going to sleep. So that's going to jack it up. And then 0 times hit the snooze button.
Ooh, and the snooze button, I tell you.
That's stinker. Here's the problem I have with my snooze button, which I hit.
You don't have one. I get up at 4 a.m. every morning.
4:12 this morning. Okay, my Apple.
It's a weird flex. But
It is a weird flex. I don't know if I'm proud of it or not, but anyway. My phone, Apple, has a 9-minute snoozer.
Really?
Yeah, 9 minutes. Okay, how'd they come up with 9 minutes? 1. 2, why don't they adjust the variability of it? I don't want to snooze for 9 minutes.
Why?
Because if I hit it twice, that's almost 20 minutes.
Phenomenal.
Bro, that's crazy. So I want like a sub 3 minute snooze. I just want to touch it just because I like to touch it and go back to sleep for a second.
The worst.
But that's enough time for me to get back into deep sleep. I'm KO'd. I'm going to wake up, going to hit it again. I'm going to be in trouble.
Yep.
So anyway, no snoozing. No hit the snooze button.
I tell you what really helped with this snooze button for me.
Hatch.
Yes. You knew I was going to say that, didn't you?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what's helped tremendously for me, too.
Yeah,
that red light kicks on, and you just slowly start to come awake.
And then I usually have some birds chirping in the background. I have a little birds chirping.
I use the same one.
I've done it a couple times. Chelsea, if you're listening to this, I've left it on too loud before.
Oh, yeah. That's a problem.
She's like, will you turn that alarm?
It's not my time. It's your time to get up. Shut that sucker off. That's exactly right.
But no, the hatch, if anyone that has not heard of that before, it mimics as close as it can a sunrise. So the light starts 10-ish minutes before, and it slowly builds, and it's so peaceful. I'm such a wonderful person in the morning. I get up and I don't hit snooze. I haven't hit snooze in 2 years, and it's phenomenal. That's a lie.
I do. Yeah, that's a total lie. I'm a Malibu sunrise person. It's the one I put on.
Ooh, Malibu. Okay.
Malibu, yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like got my California vibes in the morning.
Here you go. 10, 3, 2, 1, 0. 10 hours. No caffeine before. 3 hours. No food. 3 hours before that. 2, any stressors. 1 hour. No blue lights. 0 snooze.
Perfect.
What else you got?
Man, besides that, increase carbohydrates. If you know you're a little bit nutritional depleted at night, consistently waking up and going to sleep at the same time. And then, man, I think getting that 7 to 8 hours is the sweet spot. If you have any issues past those recommendations, and your sleep architecture from like an Oura Ring or a Whoop watch is showing a little off, then I think that's when you have a consultation. Be like, hey, all right, I need help with this.
Because you got to have sleep.
You have to. You know what? I'll look at panels all the time, basic panels, and see immune compromised individuals, right? White blood cell counts super low. You know the number one cause of white blood cell count in clinical practice that I see?
I'm probably going to say sleep.
Yeah, lack of sleep. That's exactly right. You will not heal if you do not sleep. It is essential for you to go through a healthy sleep architecture of light REM, deep REM, light, and the repetition of that throughout the evening with no disruptions for your immune system to be strong, your body to be strong. And I'm sorry, side note on this, I'm just maybe a little wife conviction. If you're a mom fighting your kid throughout the night, none of this really even applies to you. So I'm so sorry. I'm praying for you. 4 kids, 12 years. My wife has barely ever slept through the whole night, and I couldn't even count on one hand because of little kids. So anyway, grace to you.
There's an asterisk.
There is such an asterisk to that.
Yes. Before we wrap up, I was going to say if you had ever seen Ray Lewis. You know Ray Lewis?
Oh, yeah.
The linebacker. Have you ever read his weekly schedule, the latter part of his career, and how much he slept? If you want to go and read something fascinating, dude was sleeping 16 hours a day.
Look at LeBron, man. He leaves that court so quick. If he's out of town, his private jet flies him home, recovery boots, sleeps on the way home. I mean, that dude's got his recovery dialed in. You have to.
You have to.
Ray Lewis, I mean, again, playing that, was he linebacker? Was that his position?
Yes.
At that age, I mean, gosh. And what LeBron's doing, that's all recovery. They're not even really training as much as they are recovering.
Which is fascinating.
It is.
Guys, I hope this episode added value. I know for me, I got to ask a ton of questions in regards to sleep. I love sleep. Make sure you're getting your sleep. Make sure you share this episode with someone that may be, struggling with sleep, and hopefully this adds value to their life. Pillar of Health, sleep. Make sure you catch up on the other episodes with strength training and nutrition. Dr. B, thanks for adding some value to the listeners, and you ready to take a nap?
Let's go.
Let's go take a nap. Talk to you soon.
Before you hit X, hold on 1 second. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the podcast today with Dr. B. 2 things that would really help the Real Health Podcast movement. 1, share it on your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, wherever you're on a social network. And 2, if you go to Apple Podcast and you scroll down, give us a 5-star rating and give us a review. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you next episode.